Right now at noon, the extreme heat continues today in our area and across the country. A look at how hot we can expect it to feel. And the House passes a bill to gradually raise the minimum wage, but it has no major support from Republicans.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Thursday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit. But first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at your first alert forecast. Early wake up for a lot of us.
Yeah, lots of thunder and lightning and heavy rain across southern Wisconsin. That has kept temperatures this morning down, but we're starting to see a little bit of that blue sky peek out across much of southern Wisconsin at the noon hour. Doppler track showing just a few blips left over from that early round of showers and storms, and you can see the clouds starting to break up a bit across much of south central Wisconsin. Temperatures have moved into the mid 70s, still way less than what we could have expected if we didn't have that early round of showers and storms. Heat index values pretty close to what the temperature is suggesting. But look, we are seeing some light on the Edgewater sky cam, some blue skies starting to peek out. So quickly we will warm things up this afternoon. And while we won't hit the 90s, I don't think today, it still could feel like the upper 90s with that humidity, which will remain high. And I don't think we'll see any thunderstorms help us out in the heat department as we head into Friday. Still expecting very hot and humid weather for tomorrow. We'll talk more about that in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
I'll give up a little sleep for no 90s.
Exactly.
All right, Dave, thanks. New at noon, a man was struck by lightning early this morning in Partyville. He was transported to the hospital, and the extent of his injuries is unknown. Also in Columbia County, a home was struck by lightning outside of Portage. Firefighters responded, and the homeowners were able to go back inside. Right now, the Merrimack Ferry is back open after being closed due to those strong thunderstorms this morning. The Department of Transportation says the ferry shut down around 4:30 this morning and was reopened about an hour later. And there is a massive heat wave moving across the country with dangerous record-breaking temperatures setting in over the next 24 hours. Health experts caution these sweltering temperatures are more than just a nuisance. Dehydration and heat stroke are a constant risk.
Best thing to do during a heat wave is stay out of the sun when possible, stay hydrated, stay in cool areas.
By the weekend, cities in at least 14 states expected to break their high temperature records. As Dave just mentioned, tomorrow will be the hottest day for our area, with the heat index possibly reaching up to 110 degrees. The Wisconsin National Guard is trying to determine how a drone crashed near Volk Field. The drone lost its link to its operator on Wednesday afternoon about 2 miles northwest of the base during a training exercise. There were no injuries. The drone, which is unarmed and equipped with a camera, was significantly damaged. The president's attack on Democratic lawmakers escalated at a campaign rally in North Carolina last night, and the crowd joined in. The chant followed President Trump's attack on Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Omar tweeted a picture of her in Congress saying she's where she belongs and added the president's supporters will have to deal. President Trump is working to make the freshman lawmakers the face of the Democratic Party in his re-election campaign. Some Republicans are concerned the war of words has gone too far. Democrats fear the divisiveness could lead to violence.
We created an atmosphere that I am frightened about. And I certainly am concerned about my fellow members of Congress.
A Democratic effort to impeach Trump failed in the House yesterday, with lawmakers voting to table the issue. But the effort did draw the support of nearly 100 Democrats, showing there is a split within the party on how to deal with the president. The House has voted to pass a bill that would raise the federal minimum wage for the first time in a decade. There is little chance the Republican-controlled Senate will take it up. The Raise the Wage Act would bring the federal minimum wage up gradually from $7.25 to $15 an hour by 2025. A federal judge has denied bail for Jeffrey Epstein. He faces criminal charges for sex trafficking and allegedly had abused dozens of underage girls as young as 14. For a number of years, Epstein faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted. A $250,000 cash bond has been set for a man accused of killing a 3-year-old Milwaukee girl in a road rage shooting. 39-year-old Antonio Bratcher is accused of firing a gun from his SUV into another vehicle Saturday after nearly colliding with it. Bratcher is charged with first-degree reckless homicide and 5 counts of recklessly endangering safety. There were 4 children inside the car that was shot, and Brooklyn Harris was killed.
I just hate that I lost one, the little one. You know, she was the baby of all of them. I hear about it, but I mean, you know, I never thought it'd happen to me.
The family says Brooklyn will be laid to rest on Tuesday. Bratcher's next court appearance will be 2 days later on July 25th. A proposed dog breeding facility in Spring Green will not happen after a 4-3 vote by the village's Plan Commission. Last night's meeting went 3.5 hours as residents voiced their opinions on the facility that would breed and sell beagles for medical testing. The Plan Commission vote means the proposal won't advance any further. However, there's still a separate application for a larger facility in the town of Spring Green. Last week, the village rescinded its recommendation of approval for that facility. A Sauk County committee will vote on the larger facility next Tuesday. More local news now. A performer scheduled for tomorrow night's Live on King Street show has been postponed. Last week, Here Comes the Mummies announced on Facebook that one of its members was in the hospital with serious injuries after an accident. Frank Productions says their performance will be moved to Friday, August 23rd. Tomorrow night's Live on King Street will still be going on with performances from the People Brothers Band at the Majestic Theater. And 3 historic Great Lakes lighthouses are up for auction. Lake Huron's Poe Reef Lighthouse that guides ships through a hazardous channel, Ontonogden's Breakwater Lighthouse, the westernmost lighthouse on the Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and the Superior Entry Lighthouse that sits on a sandbar between Superior and Duluth. The U.S. General Services Administration is offering them up through an online auction. Their lighting mechanisms will continue to help ships navigate and remain the property of the U.S. Coast Guard. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today we're making fries, but as you can see, there isn't a potato in sight. So what's the trick? Stick around and I'll show you. Love this time of year, since so many of our favorite fruits and veggies are at their peak. And if you've walked through the produce aisle lately, or if you have a garden of your own, you've probably noticed that this year's crop of green beans has been super plentiful and are at some really good prices. So to take advantage of this bounty, let me show you a crispy, crunchy way to serve them up. We start by mixing together some panko breadcrumbs with a good amount of Parmesan cheese and a handful of spices. Now, after trimming up our green beans, we dip them in a couple of beaten eggs and then into our coating. We shake off any of the excess breading and place them on a baking sheet before spritzing them with cooking spray. After they bake for about 15 minutes and the coating gets golden, they're done. They sort of taste somewhere between really good French fries and the sweetest green beans you've ever eaten. To get our simple yet truly amazing recipe for what we call crispy green bean fries, all you have to do is go online and it'll be waiting for you. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a crispy, crunchy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. The extreme heat continues to ramp up. Our hottest day in the forecast is tomorrow. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield will share when we can expect to cool off next in your first alert forecast. A major airline plans to carry naloxone on flights in the event of a drug overdose, and Instagram could soon hide the number of likes on a post. Mark Liverman has your Money Watch report.
Iran says it has seized another foreign oil tanker in the Persian Gulf, causing a swift uptick in the price of oil this morning. Iran's state news agency says the Revolutionary Guard took control of the vessel on Sunday and alleges it was carrying 264,000 gallons of smuggled fuel. Delta Airlines says it plans to carry a drug that reverses an opioid overdose. Starting this fall, the airline will make naloxone available in parts of its emergency kits. The medication is often sold under the name Narcan. The move comes after a passenger tweeted that a man died on a Delta flight from Boston to LA after he was found passed out in the bathroom with a needle in his arm. Instagram is closer to concealing the number of likes on posts aimed at reducing social media pressure on users. Yesterday, the company said it was expanding its test hiding like counts to 6 more countries, but not in the United States. The test removes the total number of likes, but the account owner will still be able to see them. And sales on Amazon's Prime Day surpassed both its Black Friday and Cyber Monday combined. A record 175 million items were snagged. That's up 75% from last year. Some of the best-selling items in the U.S. included a personal water filter straw, along with 23andMe Ancestry kits. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Mark Liverman.
All right, Mark, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 83 points. The NASDAQ off 26. The S&P 500 down a little over 2. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dave's over in the Weather Center, and clouds slowly moving out.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get the sunshine this afternoon and temperatures will quickly warm up, but I don't know if a lot of people are complaining about the clouds keeping us a little bit cooler than we could have been today, especially if we didn't get any of that rain shower activity. But we are noticing a lot of clearing off to the south and west. There's actually a chance for some redevelopment of thunderstorms later this afternoon into this evening, so we'll watch that very closely. But I do think that some peaks of sunshine are on the way if you're not already seeing them at the noon hour, and then by the time we get to later this afternoon, we will see partly sunny skies across southern Wisconsin. But the rain definitely keeping us cool this morning in the lower 70s, and a lot of rain at that. Booming thunderstorms rolling through southern Wisconsin this morning and even into the early afternoon for some of us. But radar estimates of about 2 to 4 inches of rain falling in just the last 12 hours. In Madison at the airport, over an inch of rain just this morning. Temperatures have moved into the mid-70s, so we have warmed up just a little bit in Madison. Still at 73 in Janesville and 72 in Waukesha, 75 in Platteville, and 76 in Boscobel. Warm spot right now is 78, a little bit closer to that clearing in Prairie du Chien. Wind speeds, it's been really gusty, so sustained winds out of the south at about 25 miles per hour, gusting closer to 40 miles per hour in Madison. This powerful storm system kind of created these gusty winds, and as it moved through, we were experiencing gusts in Madison of about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Those winds will calm down a little bit as we head into later this afternoon. A little bit of sunshine, but also still a lot of clouds in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Look at how fast these clouds are moving, at least the low-level clouds in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam. Those are those winds at about 30 to 35 miles per hour, at least gusting at times. So let's take a look at future track. I do think that temperatures will recover pretty quickly into the upper 80s. I don't think we'll see the 90s today, and we can thank the rain and clouds for that, but still it could feel like the mid to upper 90s at times with that humidity. While the rain did help us out in temperature land, humidity is still really high across much of southern Wisconsin. So temperatures only dipping into the upper 70s overnight. So that's going to set the stage for a very hot and humid Friday. I don't think we'll see storms rescue us from that heat as we head into tomorrow, unfortunately. Highs in the mid 90s, even some upper 90s possible if we get those strong southwesterly winds. And with that humidity, it could feel a lot warmer than that. And then we're expecting another round of showers and storms at some time on Saturday, and that could help us with the heat once again. Still think temperatures will be close to 90 on Saturday. So this is how hot it could feel tomorrow afternoon and early evening. A lot of numbers in the 110 to 115 range across southwestern Wisconsin. So that is dangerous heat outside. And when we start talking about heat indexes above 105, that's when heat exhaustion is likely if you are outside for long periods of time, and some heat stroke is also possible. So stay safe in the heat, stay hydrated. If you need to be out and about tomorrow, just remember to keep that water handy, and also to drink plenty of it, obviously, and stay in the shade as much as possible. 10-day forecast, still an alert day in the forecast for Saturday, but then some relief does arrive as we head into next week with temperatures in the lower 80s, and especially toward the middle of next week, I do think that humidity really starts to go down.
And that's where they should be.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty typical for this time of year. Not 96. That would be the warmest temperature in Madison if we hit that since 2012.
All right, keep an eye on that.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Dave. Next at noon, the Dane County Humane Society's Pet of the Week is here. We'll introduce you to Blipper when we come back. Stay tuned. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here. Welcome to you.
Hello.
And who do we have here?
Well, this big handsome guy is Blipper.
Blipper.
Blipper, like Flipper, but with a B.
You could probably change his name if you wanted to.
Yep.
Tell us his story.
So Blipper, he was actually found stray down on South Park Street.
Oh,
so what we do know about him.
Can you turn around, bud?
Yeah, is that he is a younger guy, a younger pit bull terrier mix. And even though he's young and has lots of energy, you can see he's very smart.
Yeah, he is
smart. Can we sit? Can we sit?
But he's a lot of dog.
Oh, he's a big boy, but I think this is full grown for him.
Yeah.
But I think he's looking for a home that he can have a lot of space to run around and play. But since he is so smart, a family interested in helping him learn so much more.
And he's very gentle with those treats.
He really is.
You can't do that with a lot of dogs.
No, I can't.
Put your hand in their mouth.
Can we scoot your butt around and then we
Can
can
we
see
see
your
you?
handsome face?
Where's Dennis?
Oh.
Where's Dennis? Where? There you go. He's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and you may not see Blipper back in the kennels, and that's because he's actually hanging out with me in my office, giving him a little bit more of a home environment to hang out in.
Doesn't like all the commotion back there?
Yep, that can get him a little bit anxious, but once he's in my office, he is relaxed and snoozing. He was actually snoring yesterday so loud.
So like a puppy, it crashed.
He is, yes, yeah. He is a lot like a toddler.
Oh, get that tail.
Lots and lots of energy followed by nice long naps.
There we go.
Good job, bud.
And we're talking 95, 96 degrees tomorrow. You got to be careful.
Yep, you want to be taking some extra precautions with your pets, watching for those signs of heat stroke, giving them extra water, some cool treats, and again, never leave your pet alone in a car.
And what are the signs of heat stroke?
Anything from excessive panting and drooling all the way to maybe even collapsing. And you want to keep an extra eye out for those pups with those short noses too.
Absolutely. And don't let them outside.
Yep, monitor
All right.
that.
Last week.
Oh my gosh, we had our cute little bunny here, Cilantro, and Cilantro is still available. And you can go meet Cilantro at Mounds Pet Food Warehouse in Fitchburg.
Much of Cilantro still remains on this set.
I know, a little warm for that bunny too.
All right, well, good. Blipper.
Blipper.
Oh, whatever your name is. Okay, buddy, good luck. All right. Go to the website, giveshelter.org for information. Oh, now we're getting excited. 838-0413, the number to call to make an appointment. Dave has one final check of the forecast.
We actually still do have a few blipplers on radar this afternoon, but much of the rain has ended across southern Wisconsin. The clouds are starting to break up as well across the area early this afternoon. Temperatures are still in the mid-70s, though, kept way down because of that early round of showers and storms. I still think this afternoon, though, once the sunshine comes out, we'll warm up quickly into the upper 80s. Very warm and humid. Still could feel like the upper 90s, even some spots close to 100 degrees once that sunshine really starts to come out in the next hour or so. We also could see another round of showers and storms later on tonight, but I think the best chance of those showers and storms exists north of Madison, closer to the Dells. I don't think we'll see any storms help us out with the heat tomorrow. We'll be in the mid to upper 90s, close to record daily highs for tomorrow, with highs in the mid to upper 90s. Could feel like 110 at times. Then we start to cool down as we head into next week.
A low of 77? Wow. All right, that's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.